Hey, what's up everyone? Today we're going to do 7 more skills you can learn anywhere. So last year we actually did a fun video called 7 skills you can learn anywhere, and the response was really good. It seems like people had fun learning a few different skills in a shortened format, and so today we're going to add 7 more skills you can learn anywhere. A few of these will work really well out on the trail when you're mountain biking, and then a few of them are just for fun to show off to your friends in the parking lot or out on the weekend. But yeah, it should be a good day. I'm just excited to get into it. How are you feeling?
Good. It's been a while since I've learned something, so today will be fun.
Cool. Yeah. The first one we're going to learn is called a wheel flick, and this will help you clean off your local trails and be a good trail steward.
This first skill will make your friends smile as you sweep up the trail in front of them. The front wheel flick is a really fun skill to practice and can be used on rocks, pine cones, or other debris that is rolled onto the trail. The basic idea of this skill is that you ride alongside an object, and just as you pass it, you slightly lift your front wheel and turn your handlebars away from the object. This lets you use the back half of your wheel to make contact with the object and flick it away. Make sure to use the back half of your wheel because a hit with the front half will almost always result in sketchiness. I found the easiest way to learn this skill is to use a progression from a basketball down to a tennis ball. Patience is definitely key. Sometimes coming into the object with a slight angle can actually help with getting enough force to move the object. April was able to pick this up in about 15 minutes and was even able to flick the tennis ball in the last attempt. Next time you're bored, give this a shot. It's a fun little skill and you'll be surprised how often you can use it on the trail. Skill number 2 is a little more advanced but extremely valuable to master. The pedal kick hop may look like a party trick, but it has saved me countless times on awkward climbs, skinnies, or even some really sketchy low-speed drops. To practice a pedal kick hop, I like to be in a medium to easy gear, usually around 3 to 5 gears from the top of the cassette. I also like to make sure that my rear brake is grabbing really well to prevent me from accidentally looping out. The mechanics of the hop are pretty straightforward, but the timing is what makes this difficult. I like to start by shifting my weight back towards the rear axle and bringing my front crank arm up to about a 45-degree angle. Then in one smooth motion, you'll add tension to the chain by pushing forward on the pedals and lifting the front wheel. Once your front wheel is at a comfortable height, you'll use your legs to spring upwards, and at the very same time, you'll give the pedals a kick to propel you forward. While the rear tire is airborne, I like to squeeze my rear brake and ratchet my cranks backwards to prepare for landing. Getting multiple pedal kicks in a row takes a lot of timing, balance, and being comfortable with being up in that position. It's one of those skills that looks so easy once you have it down, but takes a while to master. A common mistake I see is that people will be too far forward and they'll rely solely on the pedal kick to try to lift the front end. Remember, it helps to shift your weight back and lift the front wheel slightly with good technique before doing the pedal kick forward. It's not just a straight pedal kick from flat ground. I was able to help April practice in the grass by holding her up, but I think this one's going to take a little bit more time to master. Here's a fun skill anyone can practice while the trails are too muddy or if you're just waiting for your friends to show up at the trailhead. I actually don't even know what this one is called, so if you have an idea, throw it down below and we'll refer to it from here on out with whatever the top comment is. The basic idea of this trick is to use your feet to push the front wheel side to side and counterbalance your weight. Getting both your feet to get up onto the front wheel can take a little bit of practice. Some people find that squeezing the rear brake adds stability, and others find that it messes them up a bit. If you are someone who prefers to leave the rear brake alone with this trick, you can turn the handlebars either direction. But generally, we'll turn the handlebars so the rear brake hand is in our lap. After a lot of trial and error, you'll be able to show off to your friends as they pull into the parking lot. Once you master this one from a standstill, you can add in a rolling start or even no hands to make it more challenging. Skill number 4 has been making a huge comeback in the last few years. The crank flip is an old school BMX trick where you rotate the cranks backwards 360 degrees and land with your feet back on the pedals. Let's break down a little progression of how you can learn the crank flip. So step number 1 is to get some shin protection because this trick loves to eat shins. Step number 2 is making sure that you're in a middle gear in the cassette to create a straight chain line between the front sprocket and the rear cassette. Too high or too low of a gear and you can cause the gears to skip or the chain can fall off when you backpedal. Once you're ready to practice, we can work on the technique. The way I learned this technique is to use your front foot to scoop the pedal backwards, which causes the cranks to spin. To complete a crank flip, you need to have a compound motion. So you're going to be jumping up, and at the same time as you're going up off the pedals, you need to bring the front one up with you and scoop it back to get the cranks to spin. Your back foot has one job, and that is to get out of the way of the spinning crank. Once the cranks make their way around, you're going to aim for the front pedal with your front foot, make contact, and then ride away. For me, crank flips have always been a little easier when wearing soft-soled shoes as opposed to a really thick downhill shoe, just because of the added dexterity of the softer shoe. Once you get the basic motion down, you can start practicing 3 different ways. Number 1 is that you can do a crank flip seated while riding along on flat ground. This is really great to build the muscle memory. Number 2, you can try rolling on flat ground and jumping up from your pedals to do the crank flip. This is really helpful for building that compound movement. And then number 3, you can try adding it into a bunny hop or jump. It's a really good idea to work on the muscle memory first before adding it into a jump, but just like anything, start small and work your way up, and with enough practice, you'll have these down in no time. One of the all-time coolest feelings is when you finally master the art of riding with no hands. This one can also be used functionally to buckle a loose strap, or put on some riding glasses, or even sometimes just to shift your weight on your seat to relieve a hot spot. The key to riding with no hands is figuring out the right speed to where the bike wants to be stable and getting your body weight back far enough to relax the front wheel. A lot of the time when I see people struggling with this, they are either going too slow, causing the front wheel to wobble side to side, or they will have the seat post all the way up, which can push their weight a little too far forwards and it makes it hard for them to find a relaxed position. The way I learned when I was a kid was by first getting the courage to do a no fingers movement, which helped me get comfortable with the hands hovering over the bars. Then I followed that up by adding in a clap and returning to the bars. After some practice, I was able to add in a second clap, and by the time I went for 4 claps, everything had clicked and I could go pretty much as long as I wanted. That was honestly a day I will always remember, and I hope that this inspires someone to give it a shot. Have you ever found yourself at the bottom of a hill climb and in the wrong gear? Well, here is one way practicing some Stoppie Variations can help you out on the trail. Learning how to do a Stoppie on its own can be a really time-consuming process, and mastering the Stoppie to where you can actually unlock it on the trail is a whole nother level of practice. When I was trying to learn and really master the Stoppie, I found that throwing in some fun variations spiced up the process a little bit and kept helping me get more and more comfortable on the front wheel. Some fun variations you can throw in are things like the ET, which can help you change gears in a pinch, the crank flip, the toe toucher, and even the one-hander, which is way harder than it looks. I have also seen some other really cool ones, like the Knack Knack from our friend Justin at 1MTB, and if you have any other cool ones, let us know, because I love trying new stuff. Last but not least is another trick with no name, and for now I guess we'll just call it the bike body separation pickup. At the end of the day, this trick is kind of pointless, but also really fun to learn. What we're trying to do is come in from a slow roll and lay the bike flat on the ground and then remount it without ever touching the ground, kind of like the floor is lava. There are a few little rules to this trick before you try it out. Rule number 1, always lay the bike away from the derailleur. So non-drive side is the side that'll go down. You don't want to go drive side because you can bend your derailleur hanger and really mess up your bike. Number 2, don't step on your derailleur with your off foot. If you can, try to stand on the chainstay part of the frame, or you can even put both feet on the cranks if necessary. When letting the bike go down, I actually like to use my seat as leverage to help it go down smoothly, and you'll also kind of be creating some counterweight on your handlebar. Learning this on the grass is much easier for both you and your bike. Once the bike is on the ground, you'll shift your weight into the pedal while pulling up on the seat and handlebar at the same time to get the bike to lift up. Sometimes it takes a few tries. Eventually though, the bike will rise and you can swing your leg over and ride away. Again, this is just a fun dorky thing to practice, but I do think it helps loosen people up. One of the most common mistakes with newer mountain bikers is the inability to get off the center line of the bike. So moving the bike underneath you is a really good skill to learn, and this is a good way to practice it. If you get comfortable enough with using the outside pedal to stand the bike up, you can also experiment with one of these running pickups too. Just be careful.
All right, so that is 7 more skills you can learn anywhere. I hope you guys had fun today. It was fun showing you a few of these, and it was fun teaching you too. What was your favorite one?
I think it was the first one, the wheel flick. because I've always been impressed when you do that on the trail.
Yeah, are you gonna try it next time?
Maybe, but maybe just really slow.
Yeah, thank you guys again for watching. We had a lot of fun today, and yeah, just stoked to be back out here and doing some more tutorial videos. If you have any suggestions or questions of future ones you want to see, or if you want a more elaborate explanation of any of the ones today, let us know and we'll try to do that. And yeah, just keep making fun videos.
Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Cool. See you guys later. Hi. Hi.